Economist: Trump is changing the rules of the economic game through gold. Quote, Trump indicated that the U.S. economy may witness a transformation if there is a greater trend towards using gold as an economic tool, instead of relying on paper currencies. Central banks say the truth is there's absolutely no crisis, and this is with the Ministry of Finance and Central Bank confirmed. They don't have a crisis with their money, with their currency or anything at the moment because they kept it under control. They've kept inflation low. Iraq boosts its financial stability with huge stores of dollars and gold in America and Europe. I really find this one interesting. Why do you think they keep telling us how sound, secure and stable it is? They want us to embrace it when they change the value. They're coming after you. Oh, are they ready? Our government is coming after you. They know you have dinars. They're going to find every way to charge you what you don't need to pay. Every third cousin you haven't heard from in years is going to call you and say, "How you doing, kissing cousin? I need a few bucks." Everybody's going to come after you. They're all going to try to take your money away from you. The US has limited its efforts to help increase the value of the Vietnam dong. The US at times has labeled Vietnam as a currency manipulator, accusing it of deliberately keeping the dong undervalued to make its exports cheaper and more competitive in global markets. Vietnam has managed to achieve significant economic growth despite its currency being undervalued. A low currency value makes exports cheaper and more attractive to international buyers. In Iraq there is a ginormous fight over the budget. Parliamentary finance, parliamentary pressure on the government to send 2025 budget tables. There is also unusual international pressure to get it done. Especially from the US. We never seemed to be concerned about this the last 15 years, and now suddenly we are concerned that they pass a budget. If it were me, I would set the rate high to start and would be a standalone or sovereign currency. This would allow the market to adjust the currency as it will. If set high enough, Iraq would be paying off debt at the minimum advantage ratio, and as the currency falls in value, it will find its equilibrium and stabilize. This would maximum value when paying off debts and buying supplies for infrastructure/imports. Once stabilized, then enter into a basket of currencies with assurance that the value would remain stable for a long time to come. This is logical, economically safe if not conservative, and would allow us to get the max for our investments up front. This is my idea of a win/win scenario. If I can deduce this, rest assured they have already considered it long ago. The below message recently comes up on this site, when you inquire about the IQD. It says notice IQD may be redenominated. This redenomination is the newer lower denominations we have been waiting for. Yes, they will have to execute the project to delete the zeros. We know that the CBI must also raise the rate of the dinar at par or just over $1 within country to get this project started and create incentives to turn in the dollars. This is really the final push to de-dollarize Iraq. The CBI still needs to break this parallel market. As long as the dinar is much lower than the dollar, this issue will linger. This is what I was talking about. Once Trump gets into office, how is this going to affect Iraq? You see, Trump has already approached Saudi Arabia and OPEC to ramp up production of oil. If they ramp up production of oil, this will drive down the cost per barrel. Of course, here in America we benefit from it. Lower gas prices. Iraq, they have built everything based on $70 per barrel of oil. Now the new budget hasn't passed yet. One of the things they need to figure out is how much they think they're going to get per barrel. If they ramp production, that's diluting the market with oil. That's going to cause the price to go down. That's one of the things I was concerned about. The US and the UK have some of the largest foreign currency in Iraqi dinar in the world outside of Iraq. When you get worried about them doing things where you don't get any value, it's absolutely false. The United States isn't going to throw away the trillions of dinar they have, nor the UK. Keep that in mind, because that should alleviate some of the significant fear of folk thinking Iraq's reinstatement of their currency or giving it a real effective exchange rate isn't going to bring value. It surely will. Iraq boosts financial stability with huge dollar and gold reserves in US, Europe. A country that has huge reserves of hard currency is considered an economically stable country. The Central Bank of Iraq announced in 2024 that Iraq has a foreign currency reserve exceeding $100 billion. Iraq's large reserves of hard currency, including gold, provide cover for the local currency and give it stability. Mr. Sami said, issues with oil and gas will always persist until a new rate appears. That's the only thing that will actually solve all this disagreement between Baghdad and Kurdistan. Frank, yeah, that's absolutely right. I agree. All we need is the new exchange rate. Everything else will iron itself out. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani will receive his Egyptian counterpart Mustafa Madbouly tomorrow, Wednesday, to chair the higher committee between the two countries. According to the official newspaper, this came at a time when the meetings of the third session of the Iraqi-Egyptian Joint Higher Committee at the level of experts from both countries began yesterday, Monday, in Baghdad, where preparations were made to sign 11 new memoranda of understanding between Iraq and Egypt during the meetings of the Joint Committee between the two countries. The MOAs cover land transportation of passengers and goods, standardization and quality control, cooperation in the field of antiquities and museums, in addition to communications, and the construction of silos and silos. The memoranda will also include enhancing cooperation and exchanging expertise in the sectors of education, health, agriculture, water resources, and private sector development, in addition to advancing the wheel of development to achieve the common interests of the two countries. According to a source in the Egyptian Chamber of Commerce, the official newspaper said, 50 businessmen will accompany the Egyptian Prime Minister, Mustafa Madbouly, who will arrive in Baghdad tomorrow, Wednesday, as the Supreme Committee will be held at the level of the two countries' prime ministers, and new protocols will be signed in addition to following up on what was previously signed. The Iraqi ambassador to Cairo, Khartoum al-Janabi, had previously spoken about completing all preparations to hold the meetings of the Iraqi-Egyptian Committee at the end of this month in the capital, Baghdad, where he explained that the meetings will be at the level of the prime ministers of the two countries, Mohammed Shia al-Sudani and his Egyptian counterpart, Mustafa Madbouly. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani met today, Tuesday, with the World Bank Vice President for the Middle East and North Africa, Osman Dayon, where they discussed ways of cooperation between Iraq and the World Bank, and the progress of development projects in Iraq. Al-Sudani indicated, according to a statement from his office, that development projects that aim to maximize the non-oil economy and contribute to job creation receive priority in government attention, stressing the continuation of